Follow us on social media at Casey Starlight. And hold on. As you fall down, and I burp. God, we are professionals. Hi y'all, and welcome to a new episode of Talkin With Taylor. Today I am joined by a Broadway icon, Miss Carolee Carmello. I'm so excited to chat with you.
Thank you. I'm just so impressed with this outfit. I can't get over it.
It's like you need sunglasses or something.
It's fabulous. It's very Hello, Dolly.
Well, there's no one more fabulous than yourself.
Oh.
So, first of all, I want to ask, not only do you have one of the prettiest voices in all of the Broadway divas.
Oh my goodness.
But you have one of the prettiest names. I've always been so fascinated by your name.
Really?
And it is your real name.
It is my real given name, yes.
Is there a story behind it?
The story is, well, of course, the Carmello came down on my father's side, but Carolee incorporated my mother's maiden name because her name was Judy Lee, and I think they wanted to add the Lee into my name somehow. And they had a friend in high school whose name was Carolee, and they thought, oh, that's a perfect combination.
And I read somewhere that did you eventually meet up with the real Carolee?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
I did when I first moved to New York. Wow, you've really done a deep dive, Taylor. Yes, when I first moved to New York, she let me stay with her for a little bit while I was trying to find an apartment and audition for shows.
And she lived out in Flushing, is that right?
She did. I think she still lives there. Exactly. Wait a minute, maybe that was her.
Maybe. Yeah, what happened to her? Did she marry a Broadway producer? Well, what was New York like when you first started out there and you were making your way?
Back in the olden days? Well, back in the 1980s. It was very different. People nowadays who are moving to New York after college or whatever, and they talk to me about getting started in the business, and I always say it's a completely different animal because, of course, now everything is digital, everything's online. All the auditions are, you see postings for them on the internet, and back then, you got a newspaper, like a trade paper, and you saw what was auditioning that week, and you made your little schedule, wrote it down in a book, and took the subway to different places. So it was a whole other experience. But I feel like, in a way, it was easier because there was less to worry about, and you just had to sort of get there and do your time step and
less access, if anything else. It was just it was really chance, probably more than anything.
I mean, it's still chance, as you know. Sure. This business has a lot of chance
to it. But now you can just click and everybody finds you.
There's a lot of luck involved, but I'm very lucky to be here. Yay!
Well, we're excited to have you here, and
Thank
here
you.
in Hello, Dolly, which is my favorite show of all time.
Is it really?
It is, yes, it is.
Oh my gosh!
And it's really an evergreen show. I mean, it's been around, and it's always come back, and everyone always loves it. Every time, it's always as if it's the first time, I feel like, every time. When did it enter your life? Did you ever see it?
I only saw the movie when I was a kid. But I saw, I think, some local production in my hometown, which was Albany, New York. Shout out Albany.
Hey, Albany.
But yeah, no, I never saw it on Broadway, and I never saw this production on Broadway either. But I think those songs are so well known and well loved that I was aware of them. In fact, my parents tell a story that Hello, Dolly is actually the first song I ever sang. When I was a year and a half, they trotted me out at my grandmother's house and said, go ahead, do it. It was like the typical dance for grandma.
Oh, fun.
And I sang Hello, Dolly as a 18-month-old or whatever. So it's coming full circle, Taylor.
Full circle, the circle of life. Well, and what's always been so special, I think, about Hello, Dolly is Dolly. I mean, it's always been such an incredible role, and it's been inhabited by some of the greatest names of all time. As we were just talking, Ethel Merman was written for Ethel.
Right.
And Carol Channing, of course, being the epitome of the beginning.
Barbra Streisand. Pearl Bailey.
Everybody.
Bernadette. Bette Midler.
Yep.
Madeline Kahn, Ginger Rogers.
Yes.
There's been so many
so
amazing
many.
women.
Yes.
I feel a lot of weight on my shoulders.
As you're standing on their shoulders, I'm sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But yes, you're right. It's one of those shows that doesn't feel dated for whatever reason. I mean, it takes place in the 1800s and it was written in the 60s, but it still feels fresh and relevant and funny, and it's kind of amazing because there are very few shows that can survive like that.
Absolutely. How have you been, has there been any inspiration or anything as you've been kind of forming your version of the character?
Gosh, I see Carol right up there. There's a picture of her in the headdress. The interesting thing for me has been how great the book is. I mean, we all know those songs and we all know how, wonderful the music is from the show, but I didn't realize how funny and how well written the book was. It's based on a play, as you probably know, called The Matchmaker by Thornton Wilder, and the speeches are so great, and there's all these intimate moments that you get with the character of Dolly. You see her sort of outside persona where she's a busybody and getting in everyone's lives, but then you see her kind of solitary, intimate life, and that was surprising. I mean, I can imagine in 1964 when it opened that was kind of an unusual way to portray a character.
Absolutely, and such a strong female character. I mean, at such an important time too, and being so celebrated. Yeah, speaking of Carol, I mean,
There she is.
yeah, I mean, it's not only not your first time to Starlight. You were here with Big River.
It's true. We were
Which
just
is
looking at the
official.
sign. There it is. Yeah, I think we figured out it was 1987. So I came here, as a younger person before I had children. And what a perfect show that was to do outdoors, because practically the whole show takes place outdoors. It was
Such a
great.
magical show. I love that show.
I did
and
too.
It's not Hello Dolly's first time to Starlight. It's actually been here, I think, 6 times in total, and everybody from Carol to Ginger Rogers was here. And there's actually, I always think it's so special too, because with us being an outdoor theater, there's a great story of when Carol was here in the 70s and she was doing the show. And she was about to sing Before the Parade Passes By. And at the time, Starlight wasn't really enclosed, and neither really was the zoo. So peacocks would be wandering around the theater, and wildlife and whatever. And a deer came up on stage as Carol was about to sing Before the Parade Passes By. And she threw up her hand and she said, "Dear, this is my scene." And she ran it off the stage.
As only she could do. That's amazing.
Well, I know. I cannot wait to see you in this role and see you at
Thanks.
Starlight. Carolee, thank you for chatting with me.
Thank you so much, and thank you for dressing up. You look so amazing.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Talkin with Taylor. For more videos like this, follow us on social media at Casey Starlight and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Casey Starlight. Hello Dolly plays Under the Stars September 25th through 29th. Get your tickets at CaseyStarlight.com.